All right, so we are here with question 33, uh, which says, write a Java program and compute the sum of an integer's digits. Input an integer. The example it gives us is 25, and it adds 2 plus 5, which is 7. So I have to write a program that takes any number I give it, 1,437, and it's going to add 7 plus 3 plus 4 plus 1, or 1 plus 4 plus 3 plus 7. And it's going to give us the address, which should be 15. So I'm going to code, I coded this program overnight as I did with question 32. And before we go on the code, okay, which I also have here already on its own class, I want to show you something. This is what I use. I use that and the Oracle website, right? The Java, the complete reference, 12th edition, comprehensive coverage of the Java language. Uh, Here, comprehensive coverage of the Java language, fully updated and expanded by Herbert Schildt. You can buy this in Amazon. It's a thick book, like 1,400, 500 pages, but it is, there's so much good information in it. I mean, it's a Java language through and through. So this is good. So let me put that away. Okay, so again, I also use the Oracle website to read through the classes of the to the Java API, right? Its libraries, its methods, and so on. And so here's what the program does. Or I use a scanner object to reading input from the user. Then I print input a number to prompt the user to input a number so that they're aware that they need to put a number. Then I take in the number using the next int method. Okay. Now I declare the variable a string. Number is a string variable on line 8. Then on line 9, I use the two-character array method to take all the members of the string, which in this case I'm going to put in here at the prompt, and convert them into an array of characters, which then I deposit into the numbers character array, which is here on line 9. Now, I want to say something. There's another way to do this, in fact. There's another way to do this. I can take the number variable, right, and use the get characters method, okay? Now, I would use uh, index. I will tell it where to begin copying the characters, because this method requires that you tell it where to begin or which characters in that string to include, like a substring of that string. So you're going to take a number of characters. It could be all of them, or it could be just from index 5 to index 15, as opposed to the full string. So in this case, I'm going to take all of it, right? So you can say 0, begin at 0, and end at, if it's 5 characters, let's say index, I have to say index 6. Now, in this method, the get characters method, it actually begins at or ends at index 5. So it's up to index 6, but non-inclusive, right? It does not include index 6. So the last index to be included would be 5. All right. So basically, you're saying source n, don't copy index 6. And then you have to tell it where you're going to deposit it, which in this case is the numbers array. Okay, and I actually should move this down here because the array was created on line 11. So let me delete these lines and delete that line. Okay. So to the numbers array, and then uh, I have to tell it, you know, where to begin within that array, within that sub string that I just created. So if I say from index 0 to index 6 of the original array, and let's suppose that the array has 10 of the original string, and let's suppose that the original string has 10, I'm going to choose from 0 to 6. But now within that substring, now they have new index numbers, right? And so now I choose from what index to begin within that substring. So I could say at index 4 out of the 5, uh, um, out of the 6 characters that I'm copying. So I could do that, okay? And then I can deposit that into the numbers array on line 9. So I can take this line right here and this code right here in line 9 and put it on here, and it will do exactly the same thing. But this right here is convenient, the two characters array method, if you just want to copy all of them. So you don't have to tell it where to begin, where to start, and where to go. You don't have to do that, right? As a matter of fact, no, I don't have to copy that line over here because that's the purpose of putting the characters array here. So you don't have to put that line here. I automatically put it into the numbers here. So that's another way to do that, okay? But again, it's more convenient to just use the two character array method because I'm just using all the members of that string, right? Every character on that string. Now, the next thing to do is I declare a some variable, integer variable, because on lines 11 through 14, I'm going to iterate using the special for loop. I'm going to iterate through each character, okay, through each character of that string, of the character array that we just created on line 9. And then going to on line 12, as I'm iterating, detect whether one of those characters is a digit, meaning a number, as opposed to a letter, okay? Okay, that's what this, as you can see here, determines if the specified character is a digit. A character is a digit is if its general category type provided by character.getType character is decimal digit number. So decimal digit number. Okay. So these are decimals that I have in the string that I'm going to put. I'll show you. I'll mix letters and decimal so that you can see that it copies only the decimals or the numbers. Now on line 13, if it is a digit, then string a value of is going to take that character string and convert it back to a string, because remember that we took a string here and we made it a character array. So that's an array of type character. And then now we have to make it back into a string so that the integer that parsed int method or function can take it, because the integers that parse int function only takes strings as its first argument. So we have to change the character to a string representation. And that's what this function right here, string value of, does, right? It changes the characters into their string representation. All right, so we are using a function or the return of this function as the argument for the parse int function. And if you remember correctly, that this is also the function, the parse int, that can take two arguments, one string as we're given it, and then a radix or radix to tell it, hey, this decimal that I'm giving you is a type of hexadecimal number, octal number, binary number, and so on. And then it will give you a return based on that. So here we are parsing through a string with this code, integer that with this function, integer that parse int function, and we're returning not a string anymore. It takes a string, but it returns a number. So now it will return a number. And since it becomes a number that is an integer, now we can add that number to some, okay, which is at the beginning equal to 0. You cannot add an integer and a number, or I should say a string and a number. It doesn't make sense. It's like you're writing letters and trying to add a letter to a number. But once you convert that string representation of a number into an actual number, then you can add number plus number. So that's what this line of code does right here. And so this right here means you're going to add the value of sum plus what this gives you, right? The new number this gives you. So sum equals sum plus the value of this. That's what this symbol means, okay? That's what this means. And in here, once we're completed all the addition by iterating over my full string that I will put in here, it will read any numbers within that string or character array, because it's going to turn into a character array on line 9. And then it's going to add that number plus the next number until the whole string is reviewed, the whole array of characters is reviewed. Okay, and then it will give us a correct answer. So first we're going to try this, 25. Okay, we're going to run it. I have the same code here, and we're going to run it and see the results. Okay, we're going to run it. Okay, input a number. I'm going to put 25 just as the example, and there it is. The answer is 7. So let's run it again. Let's use now a longer number. Okay, let's use a string of this. Okay, the answer is 37. Okay, so if you add it up, it will say 37. 9 plus 9 is 18. Okay, plus 4 is 22. Plus 8 is 30. Plus 5 and 2 is 37. Okay, so that is equal to 37. So you added everything up. Now, let's do the tricky thing and input an array, a string with letters and numbers, and you'll see that the system will parse through the whole string, convert it into an array, and then on line 13, okay, line 13, let me just show you before we continue. It's still running, but line 13 or 12 will parse then through that character array. If it is a digit, as it iterates over the whole character array. And if it is a digit, then it will give us a string value of, which will be then given to parse int function to turn it into a number, okay? And then it will add it to sum. So let's go back to the console here. And let's say I'm gonna put letters, as you can see, and numbers. So there's letters, symbols, semicolons, and numbers. Okay, and let's add ahead of time. 4 plus 5 is 9. Okay, 14, 18. Okay, so 24. Okay, 24, 30, 35, 42, 50. What is that? 51. 51, 59. Okay, 67 or 68. And then, okay, 70. So let's take a look. And there we go. So question 32 successfully answered. I mean 33, question 33 successfully answered from the W3Resource Basic Java Challenge. I find this is so cool.